Hello, this is Cena Bullshit Part 2. First, I'll go back to this person sent me another message and he's upset about Cena being in the main event again. Diddums. If you don't like it, don't watch it. You brought up the point where Cena, you don't like how Cena's going to be in the main event of WrestleMania again. It's 3 times in a row. Who cares? He's the most over, moves the most merchandise, gets the highest buy rates. He is the top guy in the WWE, whether you like it or not, whether WWE likes it or not. He makes them the most money. He's the most marketable. He brings in cash. You go to a show and you look at how much merchandise is moved. They usually have more Cena merchandise than anything else, and Cena's merchandise has is gone before anybody else's. It's just a fact. Why not put the person in the main event who is going to make you the most money? Triple H, on the other hand, has never really made that much money, has never really moved that much merchandise, besides when not being in DX. Hasn't really done anything amazing with buy rates or anything like that. He's been rather mediocre in that aspect, and he was in WrestleMania the main event of WrestleMania 16, 18, 19, but we won't count those because he wasn't in the actual last match of the night, and so we won't count it with Cena. That's why he's only been in 3, 20, 21, 22, and 24. So, you should be complaining about Triple H being in the main event, and he will be in the main event of 24. It's just as fucking plain as day. And you should be bored with Triple H because he's been dominating the WWE for fucking months now. It's been almost non-stop. Hold on a sec. Okay, I'm back. It's ridiculous. You hate him for no reason, and you're just trying to find reasons, and you look like a hypocrite because you can apply any of the reasons why you hate Cena to other guys. Like the meshing of the gimmicks. It happens to a lot of people. A lot of people, I'm sure, are very popular. Like Sting's not new gimmick, but he started off as the Surfer, then he went to the Crow thing, and then when he came to TNA, he was sort of something in between. And so I'm a bit confused about it. His gimmick to me is just a old guy who wears face paint. Ric Flair's, limousine riding, blah blah blah, player. He's got, I don't know if his gimmick, if that's still his gimmick, because I don't know what his gimmick is. He's just an old guy who doesn't know how to retire. It's stupid. You're complaining about how where's the message? I'll find it. Hold on a second. I'll just go to my messages here on YouTube and read it out. At WrestleMania 23, you should end a match the way that suits your character, unless, in capitals, you are employing a character change. Cena did not. How do you know? He had employed a character change months ago, where he started using the submission hold with Kurt Angle. He'd been using the submission hold since then. It was getting a larger crowd reaction than the FU was. It's a better way to build suspense because he can lock it in. It works better for ring psychology. And he locks people in the STFU, and it builds suspense more than the FU does, because the FU is a pretty weak finisher. The STFU is too, I'll admit that, but as I said, listen to the crowd react when he does an FU, and listen to when the crowd reacts when he does an STFU. It was so quick that the crowd started reacting more to the STFU than the FU that they thought, well, why not just have him win with submission hold? And you're complaining that he's a brawler and you're finishing with submission holds. Well, Bryan Danielson is a technical wrestler, the best technical wrestler, maybe the best wrestler in the world, and he finishes matches with elbows to the head, which is what a brawler should do. He finishes a lot of matches with submission holds, but then he'll finish a match with a knockout. It's just Cena. He is a brawler, yes, but so what? Nigel McGuinness is a technical wrestler, and he finishes matches with a lariat. Sting isn't a technical wrestler. He's He's more of a brawler, and he finishes matches with a Scorpion Deathlock. If you were to go through a list of people who didn't use finishes which matched their wrestling style, you would fucking find a lot. It's just stupid. Someone you should be complaining about is Triple H, because he's been in the main event this many times, and he really isn't that good. His place on the card really doesn't reflect how good his matches are. John Cena had last year many match of the year candidates. His match with Shawn Michaels was, probably 4.25 stars. Match at Backlash was, 4 stars. The match on Raw against Shawn Michaels was 4.75. His match with Umaga, I think it was Royal Rumble. That was a very good match. He keeps putting on these really good matches, and you say he's a bad wrestler. No, he's not a good wrestler. That's the difference. He isn't the best wrestler in the world, but he is improving. His timing is better. As I said, his in-ring psychology is better. But, just because he doesn't do a certain amount of moves, you don't like it. I mean, a lot of wrestlers don't do moves. We could go through Randy Orton's moves. He does an RKO. He does a chin lock. He does that backbreaker thing. He does a high drop kick. I think that's it. I can't remember any others. Triple H, he does the knee to the face a couple times, and he does the high knee, and he does the spine buster, and that's not many moves. Bret Hart had 5 moves of doom, or I think it was 6 maybe, and you don't complain about him. He had the gut punch and then the elbow from the top, and he put them in the sharpshooter. You don't complain about that. Try complaining about Batista. He's a lot less talented than Cena is. He's been in the main event for longer than Cena has on SmackDown. There was like 6 months where Batista was in the main event every night on SmackDown, yet we don't hear you complaining about that. Not many people complain about Batista. So these reasons are negligible. They're not real reasons. You just can't accept. You're just one of the people who likes to boo him because it's cool. And now I'm going to talk about you. You step into the darkness. I'd really like to know what you know about wrestling. As a backyard wrestler, that's not a real wrestler. And from what I've seen, I don't know if it's you or just being involved with backyard wrestling makes me laugh because it's not real wrestling. None of you know how to take a bump. The thing is, if you ask a wrestler, an indie wrestler, do you like or whatever John Cena, most of them will feel impartial. There have been a lot worse WWE champions than John Cena. Hogan was a worse wrestler. Ultimate Warrior, Batista's worse than him. Plenty of guys. Psycho Sid. WWE has only had a handful of good champions, like good wrestlers. And Bret Hart's one, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker. Undertaker never got enough time with the belt, I feel. Until more recently. The Rock wasn't really that good. He only had a handful of moves. Stone Cold wasn't that good after he got his neck broken by Owen Hart. And he's a wife beater. And, everyone still fucking loves him. And all he does is come out and hit people with stunners and goes back. But you're not tired of that old routine. And Stone Cold was in the main event for years in a row. It's just these weak reasons to hate him, which get me so mad and get so many other people so mad, and you just don't get it. You don't understand. I've been talking with other people who do videos here on YouTube, and they feel the same way. You just don't understand. These these reasons that you feel are valid are not. I've heard them for years now. They've just been, it's just nitpicking these reasons. And you can take these reasons and apply them to, 2/3 of the WWE roster. You can apply it to 3/4 of WWE's champions. And you don't complain about them. It's just irrational. Anyway, I'm done. I probably won't be talking about Cena anymore. Bye. I hope this was funny for you. Step into the darkness. You freak.